we've hit them, and these T1 stats, I mean, you look at them and you're like, oh, this team should be doing really well, and then they're not.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, to be honest, because look at this. The goal difference at 30 and at 20 and at 10 is all second in the league. However, I went over to FPX and changed his name to Prince, and now he's back, and he's on Live Sandbox, and we'll see what he's going to be able to get done here. This is what everyone's been excited about. Zeus, Zeus, Owner, Closer, Teddy, and Carrier will be your T1 roster, and yes, everyone is probably upset that Faker is no longer there, but I'm sort of happy to see Closer. He hasn't, like, oftentimes when you see players in their bench for extended periods of time, they're just slaughtering solo queue. I haven't really seen on fleek towards the top. That being said, I haven't looked super deep into it at the moment. Currently, we do have Canna and Cuz extraordinarily high on the solo queue list. Cuz is actually rank 3 and 5 on two accounts, so he's been very, very impressive. That being said, not going to be playing here today, and Owner has been obviously taking some scrim time because he hasn't necessarily
in a 1v1 matchup against the Gragas, or against the Gragas, is not necessarily going to have the greatest of impacts, but it does provide even more dive, and is against an Aphelios, it's a thin margin, right? Like, do you dive him well enough or not? Because if you fail, then you just immediately lose. But a Kai'Sa, an Azir, and a Camille that can just all get on top of Teddy means his positioning needs to be super good.
Wow, this is interesting. Lee Sin currently being hovered. Graves is available though, and of course, Owner is going to go towards the Graves with double magic dance.
Yeah, it's just the same, just a different bird. A Summit.
That's cool. Summit taking so much damage here as he takes 2 turret shots and he's dead. That's called a solo kill, ladies and gentlemen, and the Penguin's dabbing as he should. Zeus just locking down that first. It certainly is. Summit just walks underneath the turret. End of the line is, of course, not actually the end of the line. As Summit walks on around, he will find on fleek here standing on top of a ward, which is not necessarily what you want. Summit dives on in. There's the flash forward from on fleek. They're looking to lock down Owner immediately. There's the teleport. Great flash out of the new T1 jungler. However, not enough to get themselves even more as Onfleek's trying to run out of there. He should be able to, and Fate just stands his ground. Closer getting over that wall. And maybe just not working it out.
I think Closer was shuffled over the wall by Fate. I'm not 100%.
Out how to get that fight working. As you can see though, T1 still with a huge advantage in all of their lanes outside of the forest, as everyone just wants to kill Summit. There's the flash forward from Carrier. There's a Lantern if Teddy wants it, but he doesn't need anything like that. He'll just pick up the kill. And if at first you don't succeed, Chronicler, you just try.
Very surprising lane swap coming out from T1, because this hasn't been better for a while. It used to be the teams got the dragon, and then whereas Teddy has had like 5 now, 4 now, I think.
Whoa, Effort wanting to get rid of Closer, and actually, he just wants to set up for a kill. Closer finds himself once again on the wrong side of the rift. This pesky Azir just keeps throwing him exactly where he doesn't want to be, but it's a really nice pickup there for Live Sandbox.
That Azir is a big danger for T1. They don't necessarily have someone that can deal with it super well. Zeus can try to get on top of Fate, but with the amount of mobility that as we get a collapse here.
Yep, here's a big teleport from Fate. He was actually walking up topside and instead is just going to shuffle his way down towards the bottom lane, but Live Sandbox have found Carrier. They should be able to take him down. Owner's here though, and Closer's moving on down. Collateral damage, doing some work. You saw a Moonlight Vigil not going to work out there onto Effort. Not able to lock down the cow, and that is a good rotation for Live Sandbox.
The teleport that really seals the deal. Fate, even though he doesn't actually shuffle Teddy, he doesn't really more reliably fight team fights, because you're a lot less squishy than you would be with something like a Triforce. Oh, Carrier.
Oh, the hook from Carrier. He is so good. That blast cone, not what you want. However, he was always going to die. Didn't waste the flash or anything like that as Teddy takes down yet another turret. And this is feeling like it's gone from bad to worse to Live Sandbox.
I'd even say Carrier is so good. I think we can, like, don't even need to mention as fresh as Effort is a very unfortunate cow.
Yeah, that's it's called mincemeat. Chronicler is just caught on the wrong side of everything. As Zeus, no one actually wants to engage onto this lonesome Gragas, who's, I don't know, he just walked at them and they all left. Of course, T1 were already rotating down to it, and he's going to be able to take down this inhibitor turret. Not going to look for the inhibitor just yet by the looks of things. As there's a teleport in. No, we're committing. We're going to try and get some super creeps here in the mid lane as Effort comes on down. Unbreakable Will has been popped, but he hasn't really found enough of that CC as Owner just dives forward with the Gale Force, and he's able to lock down the kill onto the cow. Hook is going to go wide, and they do manage to get the inhibitor, and they'll take some stake on top of it.
Teddy and the bodyguard there. We see Effort going in an attempt to get that AD carry. The flank comes in as well, on fleek from the top, Summit from the bottom. But the moment that Effort gets on top of Teddy, Teddy flashes, and immediately there's a 4-man squad standing in front of him. And as we said, Aphelios needs to die instantly or you will not win the fight. And now full priority, this will be sword point for T1. Not the end of the game, but they're looking better and better. And I feel like this is the type of decisiveness that we kind of lacked for T1 as Fate goes before. We didn't.
Not going to happen is now we've got a bit of a collapse towards the bottom side. Owner moving on down as there's the body slam onto Summit. Summit knowing that there's something fishy going on as a teleport to come forward, and Zeus is losing out on this matchup. Absolutely. There's the cast, but it's eaten by the Banshee's Veil immediately, and there goes the Gragas. Camille going to go down immediately as Owner is also now in trouble. There's the gameplay button from Closer, but now On Fleek is going to turn on him. Effort once again being turned into mincemeat, but Closer is also going to suffer the same fate as Prince locks down that kill. T1 still ahead by just a little bit here as Carrier looking... Oh dear. Yeah, Prince. There's no turrets to execute yourself under either. How very upset as Carrier finds a hook onto an invisible target. Pretty impressive.
There's actually supers in the base right now, but I think that T1 might possibly sack one of the Nexus turrets, because like they're not going to lose more than that. Zeus is on his way from the Death Chambers, I might say. Oh, never mind. The turret is actually fine. They're completely okay. And that it was a very, very weird sequence of events that in the end get barely won out by T1. Zeus overestimating his tankiness a little bit there. Really good play by Owner though. Because let's look a little bit at what's happening here. So obviously as Zeus, your only job is to just make sure that Summit is here. But the only help you're getting is Owner, meaning that if you play this a little bit slower, you might be fine. The cast doesn't actually do anything. Owner goes for the 100-0 and then also tries to beat Fate, but he's trying to like audio attack through a set of minions as well as an angry Udyr. Closer though, he actually kills Fate, and that's what kind of salvages this play. And then I feel like Prince and like Onfleet could have just like either pushed or like went away together. I don't feel like there's a scenario where T1 can necessarily beat you both if you're just both there, but instead they split up, which was definitely not the play, because now it's just a
movie before Chronicler is there's the cask back. Hextech ultimatum onto Owner. Let's see whether Summit can trade 1-for-1, and he absolutely can. He gets booped at the end, but now Effort once again in trouble. Oh no. Blade back, there's the headbutt onto Closer, but Teddy is untouched and is just so strong. 4-0-2 now on this Aphelios, and has himself an Infinity Edge, as well as that Runans and Kraken Slayer from earlier, building towards what looks like a GA right now, as T1 should be able to comfortably collect themselves an inhibitor. As you can see, bit of a back coming through for Fate, but it's not going to be in time to save this one. Calibrum is online as well, as Teddy is just coming in immediately, as Carrier moves on forward. Okay, Zeus trying to be that front line. His Effort looking for that headbutt to get into the backside, but the Elder Drake is down. Every neutral objective has been taken. The 4-man Emperor's Divide, though, from Fate just doesn't matter because this dragon is so powerful, guys. And T1 just wiped the floor with Liv Sandbox. Summit, the only man standing, and he's trying to go back. If I was him, I probably would have just ran at that inhibitor and hoped, or something like that, because there's no way this Camille's going to be able to do anything on her own. And this looks like game for T1.
It could have been a man with a dream. They stay in the game for a long time, but in the end, I gotta say, I think this is kind of the form that T1 fans have been looking for a long time. And I don't want to spoil, actually no, I want to say I don't want to spoil my vote, but I don't know who gets Pog here, but I know it's someone on the bot side of the map. I mean, you say that, but think about Carrier. I know!
I want Carrier. Give it to Carrier.
Thank you.
Just give it to both of them at the same time. Can we give it to both of them at the same time? Surely we can. The bottom lane.
What we see here is a T1 that still suffers from some of the same issues. I feel like they didn't accelerate as much as they could have with their early game lead. Their initial Dragon was fairly slow, but this 15 minutes for the first Drake when you're like copping plates at like 2 minutes in, That's not where you want to be. This damage chart, as expected,
No.
absolutely disgusting. And even though I think
Wow.
Bo's had a very middling game, he did what he had to, right? Like, his goal was use scatter, keep Teddy safe, press my